All right, welcome my friends to the Black Diamond Call for, what is it? It is the 20th of February, 2017. As always, John Lavenia here with you live on a Monday night. You know, we had such a good time here last week with our conversation. I wanted to keep this sort of a monologue, hopefully a dialogue if you guys want to participate towards the end. I want to keep that going and tell you about some other core ideas that have come up for me as I became successful in top tier direct sales. Before we get into that, though, of course, we do have a reminder and an announcement for all of our brand new members, and that is we are having our second ever marketing mastery event here in the United States. That's going to be in Orlando, Florida, at the near the Walt Disney World Resort, and you can get all the details on that at digitalaltitude.co/MME, as in Marketing Mastery Event, and you should also be able to find a very conspicuous link to that inside your Digital Altitude members site. So be sure to check that out and grab early bird ticket pricing while it's available, and couples tickets discounts and VIP tickets while they're still available. Here, let me tell you what happens typically. What typically happens is a ton of people register at the last minute. Okay, so do everybody in the event department, do them a favor and register early. That would just help with the mad rush at the end, which for some reason always happens. Just human nature, I guess. But you'll pay more if you wait, too. So don't wait. And so there's that. And then also I wanted to say happy birthday to Digital Altitude. This is, we're coming at late February here, and this is when Digital Altitude hit the marketplace 1 year ago. That's right, back in 2016. And I want to talk with you a little bit about this tonight as it relates to, I think it relates to the timing of everything we're doing here. And I think it's very relevant for people who have come here for the purpose of making their mark in the online marketplace. You've got a very auspicious, I love that word, by the way, auspicious. That means that it's sort of like good omens, like this is very good conditions for success, very auspicious, right? Like the planets are lining up. That's what auspicious means. So, yeah, it's a very auspicious time to be involved in Digital Altitude. So I wanted to talk with you about that. Anyway, hats off to Michael Force. And Michael Force, I don't know if you're listening right now, or maybe you'll listen to this on recording, but congratulations on getting this company to a year old. Bravo, sir. Bravo. And bravo to all the people behind the scenes, Jeremy and Dallas and Jason and Mary and all the other people, Travis and Alan, all the people that make this work. So there's a lot of people working behind the scenes for you and for me. So with that, here's what I wanted to talk with you about. And it's kind of a birthday theme, but I want to do like story time with Uncle John tonight. So if you'll humor me, I want to go back to 2002 when I was a newbie. Yes, I was a newbie, if you can believe that. I was a newbie in this business model. Of course, Digital Altitude didn't exist back then. This was back in the Stone Age, and we were, carving wheels out of rock, and pterodactyls were flying around, and you should see the size of their poop too. My goodness, it's something. And so we had lots of problems back then. We had lots of problems. Anyway, here we are, millennia later, 15, 16 years later, and this business model is still here, right? This has worked. This is the business model which has made hundreds of millions of dollars for ordinary people. Now, I know sometimes people might look at successful, entrepreneurs or people who've, got to the top 1% of income earners in an industry and say, wow, those people are special. I want to assure you that while I like to think I'm special, and I guess my wife thinks I'm special, my daughter certainly thinks I'm special, I haven't always thought of myself as special. But what I did think of myself as is a leader. A leader. And, for me, it was difficult. I was frustrated a lot when I was looking for something, finding hopefully some way to make a multiple six-figure income. That's all I wanted, a multiple six-figure income. I'm not asking for a lot. I don't think I'm greedy. I don't think I'm narcissistic. I think I'm just somebody who wants to provide a good lifestyle for my family. Now, if you can relate to that, you can go ahead and type in the chat roll. I'm going to go ahead and be checking the chat roll throughout, and we are going to open it up for Q&A at the end. Oh, and I forgot to give my weekly disclaimers. Okay, I'm going to give you my ideas, my opinions on stuff. So see how these ideas can work for you. If they work for you, great. Take what you like and leave the rest. And if I say anything that offends you, you'll get over it. That's just how we roll. I've got, I've got an idea, and it comes right out of my mouth. I never know what I'm going to say until I actually hear it myself, which is always very educational for me. So back to our story. So here I was, and I had done franchising. I had put over $100,000 into a franchise where I worked my ass off. I mean, I was 70, 80 hours a week. I was miserable with it. So good news about franchises, that there's already a plan laid out. It's predictable. Here's what you do. Here's the training. Here's the whole procedure. We've already figured out the system. Just do that and pay us royalties forever, right? So that's franchising. And good news for us here in DA, is that we've got a franchise-like model in terms of systems are already out, already laid out. We've already figured out lots of stuff. Okay, this whole idea, which was digital altitude, which was nothing but an idea a couple years ago, and took Michael Force a year to put that idea in place to get the engines running and everything, and then now it's here on the marketplace for a year. So that all started with an idea, right? But it was an idea based on experience. It wasn't just a theory. Okay, and that's the beauty of franchising as well, is that it's based on experience, right? Like, this is actually working. Oh my goodness, look, people really want to buy our hamburgers. Okay, well, let's put up some more stores. In fact, let's get you to pay for the store. You can make some money too, and then you're just going to go ahead and sort of lease the system from us, and pay your royalties or whatever. So that's the franchise model. Now, of course, we've got systemization without franchise fees and royalties, and without the myriad of regulations that people in that world deal with. Anyway, I had been down that road. Bought myself an 80-hour-per-week job and about a six-figure income. Made about $100,000 per year with that, working 80 hours a week. What else? I had gotten into multi-level marketing. Interestingly, and I'm not here to poo-poo MLM. That's fine. There's a lot of people on that path. In fact, there's a lot more people on that path that are on the path of top-tier direct sales, which is what we do. Okay. Some people don't get the distinction between the two, but I'll tell you the distinction as I experienced it. Okay, so this is my reality. This is for me. Okay, and for you. You may relate to this. If you've been in multi-level marketing, you've got a situation where your income, well, your income potential is pretty great, right? I mean, you can get commissions on multiple levels of people, and two get two or five get five or whatever the hypothetical situation is, and here's the geometric progression, and now we get to the point where, my goodness, all you did was lift your little finger and you just made $1 million because everybody duplicated. My goodness, this is a bonanza. Yep, that's the way the comp plans are written. That's all very nice, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to sell our soaps and our vitamins and our jungle juice to our friends, family, and neighbors, and we're going to do milk and cookie parties, and we're going to do product demos, and man, we love our product. We're all a product of the product. I love the product. Give me some more of that jungle juice. It's so tasty. Right, okay, until it's not so tasty anymore. And what I found was that as much as I love consumable products, and I like to eat vitamins and drink jungle juice, and I do. I've got lots of friends in MLM. I buy their stuff. Great, sell me the jungle juice, man. It's good. I like the healthy stuff. But it was just a terrible business model for me because I was not a marketing guru. Now, if anybody here can relate to that, you can go ahead and type in the chat roll as well. I usually don't elicit chat roll responses from people, so I'm attempting to do more of that. I'm attempting to be more engaging. So hopefully I'm engaging you. If you're tuning into this live, please engage with me. So here I was in this MLM company, not a marketing guru, not a seasoned veteran in MLM. I didn't come in with like a big list. In fact, I was taught to make a list of 100 people that I know. The 100-person list. I don't know if any of you have ever heard this, but yes, some people can relate. Here's Sandra, right? Tracy, got it. You guys, very good. So so I was told to make a list of 100 people and to, I guess, start calling them and cross my fingers. And the whole idea there is that, think about this. This is going to sound critical, and again, if I say anything that offends you, you'll get over it. Okay? You could be working in an MLM business right now. I don't care. Do whatever you want. It's your life. Okay, but here's the thing. I've been to countless MLM conventions and network marketing, call it whatever you want. I've been to countless conventions and asked people, so what kind of marketing are you doing? And they look at me like a deer in headlights, like, marketing? Marketing? Like I should bring a dictionary with me when I ask questions like that, because they don't know the definition of the word. And neither did I. Neither did I, right? So let me go ahead and define marketing. Here's the best definition that I've ever come up with in my study of the subject, and that is the act of reaching into the public, impinging on their space, and putting their attention on that which you offer, purpose of which is to increase the demand for what you supply. I'll say that again. Marketing is reaching into the public, impinging on their space, and putting their attention on that which you offer, purpose to increase the demand for what you supply. That is marketing. Okay, now how many people in MLM can give you that definition, despite the fact that they're walking around with their network marketing name tags on and they identify as network marketers? They do. They identify as network marketers. What do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a XYZ company rep. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. Okay, if that's your identity, you've missed it. And it serves the MLM company. It serves the product provider, which is how I see an MLM company. I see them as a product provider. Thank you for making the product. Thank you for handling the commission plan and doing the legal thing. And thank you. I don't want to, those aren't my problems. Thank you for having those problems. Those are not my problems, right? We've got a whole staff here at Digital Altitude. We could say, well, here's a parallel. Digital Altitude is a product provider. Here's a comp plan. Here's business system. Here's all the stuff, all the problems that you don't want to have. We got those problems handled over here. You get to wear one hat, and that hat is marketer. And most people who have that hat on are not manning the post. They don't know how to wear that hat. And that's what I found throughout network marketing. And I came in not knowing about marketing, and nobody could teach me about marketing. It was just make a list of 100 people and call your friends, family, neighbors, and have milk and cookie parties and give them product samples or whatever. I did that for a couple of years. And made $12,000 my best year doing that. And I know other people, again, this is not to invalidate the success of other people. Other people have had great success with a low ticket, sell, 10 million units a month to make, a couple $100,000 a year. I never made a couple $100,000 a year. Remember, my goal was $20,000 a month. That was my goal, $20,000 a month. And I was not vague about that. I had reasons to make $20,000 a month. One of the reasons was I envied the people who I saw in the network marketing deal who were roped off behind the velvet ropes at the big company convention where there's 10,000 people chanting about how they're all going to be rich, and there's like 20 people behind the velvet ropes. These are the untouchables, man. These are the celebrities. They're making like $20,000 a month, and they're driving new Lexus and Mercedes-Benz. And here I was working my ass off, right? In fact, I was, as an aside, I was introduced to the whole concept of network marketing originally by a customer in my franchise. For those of you who don't know, I used to be a mechanic, okay, and I had purchased a franchise tool distributorship. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the big white trucks that drive around. There's several companies. There's Snap-on and Matco and Mac, and these are tool distributors. They go from shop to shop, and they sell tools, and they give credit to mechanics who, in some cases, they're just not creditable. They can't seem to come up with their $20 a week to pay their tool bill and all this. Anyway, that's how it was when I was doing it back in the 1900s. And so that was a related field. I used to be a mechanic, and I got into a franchise in a related field that I had an aptitude for. Okay, I figured, yeah, let's sell tools. This is something more entrepreneurial that I could do. Anyway, one of my customers came onto my tool truck one day, and he said to me something that may sound familiar to anybody who's ever been in MLM. He said, "Hey, John, you're a pretty sharp guy. Have you ever considered other ways of making money? You keep your options open?" Now, I had never heard that before. Okay, so I was like, "Yeah, make money? I'm working 80 hours a week over here. You got something to make money? My goodness." Now, granted, the guy he was below me on the hierarchy of causality, okay, and like he's an employee working for some company. I'm an entrepreneur working for myself, so I already had some altitude over him in terms of no pun intended with digital altitude, but I already had some altitude over him in terms of what I was accomplishing in life. But I'm open-minded. I mean, this guy knows something. Maybe he just got like a hot stock tip or something, and he's just killing some hours at the the place where he turns a wrench all day because what else is he going to do this time? I don't know. I'm not going to prejudge, so I'm going to go check it out. That's how I got started in network marketing. And yeah, that was a great start in terms of learning how to apply some of the principles that I had been studying for years. I had been into personal development, reading books and stuff like that, and I was looking for something more resourceful I could do. That's why I also got into business. I was running that franchise. So here I was in network marketing. And the point is, with all this, is that in the network marketing model, without knowing about marketing and having no one who could teach me anything about marketing, I was not terribly successful. Now, if I got into like a traditional network marketing company now, if I had the motivation to do so, if I had the interest in doing so, I'm sure I could be way more successful than I was now that I've learned something about marketing. So again, this isn't to condemn all like low-ticket network marketing deals, but I will tell you that without having marketing prowess and without having a list, like for example, a downline that I'm bringing over from some other company, I was pretty much dead in the water. And just the fact that I got to, make over $10,000, what does the average person do in network marketing? They hear no 2 or 3 times and they quit. That's the end of that. I mean, what did it cost them to get started? A couple $1,000s. Some of these low ticket programs, a few $100s, right? I put in $5,000 to get started in this network marketing deal. Okay, so but still, compared to what I paid to get into a franchise, it was 100,000 plus. Okay, and I didn't have like a system. I didn't have a system like in the franchise where it had work laid out for me to do. It wasn't systemized. It was make a list and call your friends, family, and neighbors and bring them to the milk and cookie party and the hotel meeting and all that kind of stuff. So for me, I went from a very systemized, a lot of work thing that made me some okay money, not compared to the hours I was putting in. I went from that to, my goodness, this is killing me. Let me go into this other thing where we can get this thing called leverage, where I can have bits of profit from other people who now I've brought into a team, like a marketing team structure. Problem was I didn't know marketing, neither did anybody else. So that was sort of a hit and miss, and mostly miss, but without a system. So you see here, I just gave you a mental picture of 2 different business models. One is very systemized, and we've got systems here, and one has leverage. Like in the franchise, I was the leverage for the company that runs the franchise and the tool trucks, right? But in this world, over here in this network marketing world, I learned something about leverage through duplication. Very interesting, very compelling, but no system. Now, do we have both of those things here inside Digital Altitude? We do. And this was the beauty of top-tier direct sales. Okay, we can learn marketing. Yes, marketing is something that can be known. It need not remain a mystery, John. You can know marketing. Very good. That's a good thing to know. Statistically, the highest paid profession in the world, sales and marketing. Unless you look good in a bikini, shaking your ass on stage, singing pop music or something. That's not me. That's not me. In case you were wondering, that's not me. So there's that. We got a system, but we also have leverage. Leverage, yes. Leverage. We have a way that we can have others that want to participate come, and they can be additional profit centers for us, and of course for themselves, right? So this is nice. This is leverage. We've got both of those things here. In fact, we've got them to a much greater degree than I had them back in 2002 when I finally found a vehicle that can make me at least $20,000 a month. Finally. See, I never lacked motivation. I don't know about you guys, but I would venture that since you're on a call on Monday night, if you're listening to this live, or if you're listening to the recording on the podcast or whatever, there's probably more entertaining things that you can do than listen to some Italian guy, tell you stories about how I became successful. But the point is that you're motivated for success, right? You can go watch kitten videos on YouTube later. They'll still be there. That's fine. Right now we're going to handle this. We're going to handle your deliberate and intentional evolution into a top earner. That's what we're handling right now. So good. Bravo for being here. So I never lacked motivation. I lacked instruction. I lacked know-how. I lacked mentorship. I lacked leadership. All I wanted was somebody to show me something that would just finally work. I see Austin here just put in a question in the chat roll. Austin, the way you get leverage, I'm going to tell you about leverage here for a minute. So the concept of leverage, every top business owner knows that you've got to have leverage. So let's say you're working a job. You are the leverage for your boss, okay? And if he's got a boss, he's the leverage for his boss or her boss or whatever. So there's a hierarchy, right? That means that if I'm your boss and I can pay you 10% of the money that you bring into the company, which is about right, well then great. I'm paying you what a job is worth to profit the enterprise, okay? And maybe to fund other projects, maybe to pay the secretary who they're not bringing in money into the company. Let's say you're in the sales department. You bring in money. Great, you get some of that money. The secretary gets some of that money. That's a needed, product is, I need the paperwork. So we need a secretary too. So that's got to get paid for, right? So yeah, your job is worth about 10% of the revenue you bring in. Okay, and I hopefully get paid too, right? In very successful companies, yeah, I get paid a lot because I got a lot of leverage, right? I'm not typing the secretary stuff and I'm not selling the product to the customer, right? I'm the boss, right? I'm the guy with the idea. I'm managing all this, right? That's the leverage. That's good. That's good stuff. And there's an old saying, Austin, that you should develop your strengths and manage your weaknesses. Okay, so my strength may be as a leader, as an organizer, as a manager, as a boss, and other people. You see, I've got weaknesses in other areas, right? Those weaknesses would be typing, answering the phone, doing the sale thing, all that stuff, right? So that's where I would want employees or a downline and an upline and a product provider, a company, right, to be leverage points for me so that I don't have to try and develop my weaknesses. Develop your strengths. Manage your weaknesses with the strengths of others. So hopefully, Austin, that answers your question. So that's leverage. That's what we get here, okay? In my franchise, I was a one-man show, right? It was me running the tool truck, doing the shipping, the receiving, taking the credit, and getting guys their tools on time payments and everything. So it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. Could I have created some leverage? Sure. If revenue was big enough, I could have brought on a subordinate, an employee, maybe a second truck or something. I got burned out in 2 years doing that. Burned out. So miserable. Anyway, so back to top tier direct sales. So I found an advertisement, and it was a form of marketing that I had not experienced before, and it was a little business card that somebody had put on my car, right on the driver's door between the window glass and the rubber that holds the glass, right above the driver's door handle. Somebody had put a little business card sized flyer or handbill, and it was talking about making like $20,000 a month. I was like, yeah, right. Okay, but hey man, I'm open just like I was on the tool truck where the mechanic had said, hey, you seem like a bright guy. You want to learn about making money? Okay, I gotta know. So again, we're going back to the Stone Age now, but I called the toll-free number and I got the free information. Next thing you know, I'm talking to a guy who's making $50,000 a month or so doing this home-based business deal. I had no idea what we're talking about here. I was a newbie. I didn't know nothing. So I got started. And here's what I found. First of all, they were dealing with a product of significance. Okay? So, and again, not to invalidate vitamins and jungle juice. That's awesome stuff. Great. But is it going to change somebody's life to the point where they now are more able to get what they really want? Now, if they've got some acute health condition, some trouble, and the juice or something is what they need to fix it. Not that you can claim that. My goodness, the FDA would be all over you, shutting down your company and everything else. How dare you say that you actually helped anybody with any of your product? Okay, but that aside, regulatory issues aside, aside from that, like some, raising Lazarus from the dead or something, it's not that significant. Okay, preventative healthcare, great stuff. Eat your vitamins, man. Awesome. Good. But it didn't change my life. Okay, I wasn't passionate about it. When I got into top tier direct sales, we were dealing with information products, info products, Events, does this sound familiar to anybody? Does anybody here have a digitally delivered information product in your possession? I think you do. I think you do. We've got two of them. They're called Base and Rise. How about events like high ticket, high impact, exclusive information, non-disclosure statements, like hardcore education that you'll never get in school? Do we have everybody going to Maui in a couple of weeks? I think we've got a few people going to Maui in a couple of weeks. So does this ring a bell? It does. It does. This was the business model. So now what are we selling? We're selling intangibles. Intangibles. So I made the shift from tangible products that have an objective value, like what does a bottle of vitamins cost? 20, 30 bucks? Okay. So you see, that can be commoditized. That can be relegated to, well, it's just like all these other ones. Yeah, I got vitamins already. I go to the store, they're like, I take one a day. What are you talking to me about vitamins? Okay, so that is a commodity, an objective value, or an assumed objective value. Okay, so that's something we can touch, and it's got to be manufactured, it's got to be shipped, right? There's overhead, there's packaging, here's your 10% commission on your $30 bottle of vitamins. Here's your $3. Thanks for showing up. Now, if you can do that 10,000 times a month, man, you're good. Good times. Of course, you got to know marketing, which we can't teach you. Great. So there's that. Or you got to rely on some downline people who are also don't know marketing and arguably are barely committed. What, they put a few $100, maybe $1,000 in? You're going to rely on these people for your income? Again, sorry if I'm offending anybody. This is my reality. Okay, great. So my income is now reliant on other people who I barely know, some loosely affiliated group of people who don't know marketing, to do marketing and to commit when they barely put a penny on the table compared to what I just did in my franchise. Yeah, okay, so we can bet on that if we want, or we can go over here to the world of intangibles. Intangibles. So now we're dealing with subjective value products. So think about the unfair advantage we have now. Okay, and I'm not here to sell you this, you're already in. Okay, so think about the difference. So here we've got a product that needs manufacturing and packaging and shipping and all the stuff that goes on with that, so you can make your $3. And on this side of the table, ladies and gentlemen, we have something that you can't see because it's intangible. I can't ship it to you. It doesn't exist in the physical world. It is information, just like any university. They're selling an intangible product. Yeah, you get a diploma at the end, which you know what you can do with that once you got it. But unless you're a doctor or you're an astronaut or something, yeah, you actually have some use for that education. But most of what passes as education these days isn't. It just isn't. We got kids leaving college with zero marketable skills. It's a travesty. And along with no marketable skills, here's $150,000 in student loan debt, which you can't even write off on a bankruptcy. That bankruptcy does not relieve that. So it's a pretty interesting offer, as offers go. I think that's a pretty interesting offer. I'm not saying that there's no use for specialized knowledge when it's specialized knowledge, specialized understanding, actual education. The point of which is not to get people to just think in a different way, but it's to get people to be able to accomplish new things by behaving in a different way. That's actually the point of education. Education is for use. It's for use. Okay, so now we come to digital altitude, or in my case, when I got started, this didn't exist, but we had same kind of a business model dealing with intangible products of high significance, high impact, high subjective value. What is it worth to me to learn marketing? What is it worth to me? Well, I'll tell you, so far it's been worth to me some millions. Some millions is what it's been worth to me so far. And I'm not done earning, nor am I done learning. Okay, so you see now the value of information, usable information, real education. Okay, so this is what we were dealing with. Intangible, significant, high impact, high subjective value, not objective value, right? I could put information into a book. Now it's commoditized. What's the book cost? 20 bucks. Or we could do a full interactive, digitally delivered educational program. We can deliver it online. We don't have to ship a product. And my goodness, the value goes way up. And so does the purchase price. It's beautiful stuff. I deal with intangibles now. and I've got significance. I've got something that means something, that can change somebody's life for real if they but apply it. Yes, yes. And because we didn't spend all our money on manufacturing and shipping this damn thing, we could actually pay a commission. Imagine that. People can make real money on a few sales, not sign up 10 million friends, family, and neighbors, which you're never going to do anyway, or bring in some huge downline, or have some list that you've been building your list for 20 years, and so you've got like 10,000 people standing in line waiting to buy whatever your offer is. No, 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 no. No, this is where somebody brand new, like I was, can get started and decide to learn marketing and not even be that good at it. My goodness, there are marketing gurus who would humiliate me in terms of what they've done in terms of impinging on the marketplace, putting people's attention on an offer, right? Increasing demand for what they supply. There are people that are way, way better at that than me. I'm still learning. But even at that small gradient that I was on, my goodness, I made 20,000 my third month after years of missing the mark, after years of frustration, years. Now, what's the key? Okay, I gave you a couple of keys already. Deal with intangibles, deal with subjective value products, have a system, but also at the same time have leverage, have able people, able mentors, coaches, people who can illuminate the path because they've walked it, not just theorized about it. They've walked the path, okay, and they're willing to teach. That's all beautiful stuff. And now the one more ingredient we need. One more. Can you guess what it is? Can anybody guess what the one missing ingredient is in this whole picture? It sounds damn near perfect. What's the one missing ingredient? And it's the one ingredient that so many people miss, and that's why this doesn't pay them. Can you get what that one ingredient is? Why does this not pay them? And in the question, you will find the answer. Why does this not pay them? The missing ingredient. Nobody got it yet. The missing ingredient is them. It is the individual. There must be a powerful, motivated individual at the helm, steering the ship. Nobody can do that for you. It's you. You are the missing ingredient in this whole success equation. And if you are motivated, and if you but have a bit of integrity to your own goals, assuming you've got goals, which is why you would be motivated, and if you've got that, then you are the missing ingredient. And you've got to want it like you want to breathe, like you want life, like you want success, like you refuse to be denied. You will not live without this. I will not be denied this $20,000 a month any longer. And when I finally found messengers who had a message worth listening to, I grabbed on and I never let go. And I made millions, unapologetically, because I know I was willing to pay the price, whatever it took. I got to learn. I got to do this like my life depends on it. Now, I'm not telling you to get frantic or that everything else in your life has to stop, but some of those things might have to stop. And one of those things that might have to stop is you telling yourself that you can't, is you telling yourself that you're somehow unworthy or inferior or you're lacking something. The only thing you're lacking, if anything, is the marketing education. And if you're here, you've got that at your fingertips. You've got a great offer. A great offer. And once you know marketing, you're going to have lots of offers. I published my first book. Thousands of people bought it. Why? Because I learned marketing. Now I had a list. Now I had people that I had influence in the marketplace. I had impinged. I had put people's attention on that which I offer. And I got a new offer. Ladies and gentlemen, here's my book. Great. Sold. So you see this? I'm going to give you a quote from Napoleon Hill out of his classic book, Think and Grow Rich. This is, he talks about, in fact, I took this up with one of my students today. I took up this quote, this whole issue. He says there's a secret in the book, and if you're ready for it, you'll find it, and you'll never submit to failure again. Well, I have found several secrets in that book. And I think the reason why he says there's a secret in the book is to keep you reading and keep you paying attention, to get you engaged, because I found multiple so-called secrets in that book. Obviously, if there were secrets, they wouldn't be in the book. So that was some marketing on his part. Hey, you bought the book, now read it. Okay, great. So I found a few so-called secrets, and one of them is in the chapter on organized planning. Organized planning. Great chapter. Every chapter is great in that book. But he says in that chapter, generally speaking, and I'm going to do this right from memory because I've read this so many times. He says, generally speaking, there are two kinds of people in the world. One is known as leaders and the other is known as followers. Decide at the outset whether you intend to become a leader in your chosen field or to remain a follower. The difference in compensation is vast. The follower cannot reasonably expect the pay to which a leader is entitled, although many followers make the mistake of expecting such pay. You get that? That's huge. Huge. Okay, so what does this mean? Let's look back at MLM. So here we got people signing up to be entrepreneurial. Great, it's a step in the right direction. But are they leaders? Well, I suppose they can go to the rally and chant, we're leaders, we're top earners. Yeah, that's nice. Affirmation's a good place to start. But are they leaders? No. How do I get leads? How do I call my list of 100 people? What should I say when people ask me what do I do? How many herbs are in the vitamin product, right? It doesn't occur to them that it's their business, that people are buying them or not, and that their identity cannot be, I'm a subordinate of some company, and that's why you should get started with me, because look, we got a great product. Oh, you should hear about the founder. Let me tell you all about the founder. And the corporate headquarters is just so beautiful, and we got 10,000 square feet, and the offices, and it's built on the beautiful rock of Gibraltar, and my goodness, nobody gives a damn. Nobody gives a damn about any of that stuff. Okay, so they're regurgitating what they heard somebody else tell them was important. That somebody else was probably their upline or the corporate people, and their post is making products and publishing brochures and being compliant and making sure things get delivered and doing accounting. That's their post. That's not your post. Your post is marketer, right? And if that was their post, then there would be no opportunity here for you. Think about that. People sign up to be network marketers to man one post, and that post is marketer, and they have no idea how to man that post. And they look to other people who also don't know how to man that post, as evidenced by the fact that they offered it to you, and they're looking to advice for that. They're followers. My goodness, they're followers. Followers. But we're going to make a pile of money. Oh my goodness, we're going to be so awesome. Hey, can you help me? Hey, can you tell me what the ingredients are in the thing? Hey, why is that like that? Hey, explain the comp plan to me. And I don't know how to do this. And nor am I willing to learn or do the research on my own. I mean, it is maddening. But hey, they only got a few $100s or a couple $1,000s on the table, so what does it matter? You know what? I heard no a couple of times. Let me take a walk. There you go. Again, sorry if this offends any of you. So here we go with what I experienced when I found top-tier direct sales, which I found in my first company that I discovered. The company was just a year old, just like Digital Aptitude is right now. Your timing, oh my goodness, if you're hearing this right now, your timing is legendary, because first year of any business is, rocky road, it's problems. We got problems. Nothing's perfect, right? We got problems. We got to work through the problems. Most companies never make it to a year old. Nope. Guess what? We're a year old. We've just proven our mettle in the marketplace. And we're just getting started. Most people have never even heard of this. My goodness, no clue what we've got here. They're in the MLM deal right now. Or they're working the job. Or they didn't even know what an entrepreneur is. Or whatever their story is. But people are waking up every single day and looking for opportunity, right? You know that one day's production in terms of newborn babies are more people than you can ever sign up in your lifetime. Just think about that. We got 7 billion people on this rock. You got some opportunity here. A lot of them speak English. A lot of them are on the internet. And a lot of them are dissatisfied with their current results, whether they admit it or not. Eventually they're going to admit it. And they're going to be looking for what? They're going to be looking for the ingredients on the label? No, they're going to be looking for a leader. They're going to be looking for a leader. And if they find your advertisement or your content or whatever you're putting out there it damn well better be you. So you see the Napoleon Hill quote, how this affects your pay? It's big. It's big. So I decided at the outset, just like Napoleon Hill said, I decided at the outset to become a leader. And if you want to remain a follower, that's fine. Just don't expect leadership pay, right? Don't expect to get orange juice from an apple. You're barking up the wrong tree here, man. So I treated it like a business. I also put tens of thousands of dollars on the table. I'm not going to walk so easy on this. And I had significance. I was dealing with significant products. I was dealing with intangibles, something of value, something I could get passionate about. Personal development, marketing, education, knowledge, understanding, freedom, control, ability, responsibility. Yes, this is what I'm about because I'm a leader. And I had other leaders who were leading alongside of me who illuminated the path based on their experience. That accelerated my learning curve, and with a little bit of marketing that I learned, a pathetically little bit, I made almost $500,000 my first year. Big difference from struggling for years to barely eke out a six-figure income, 10 grand a month. My goodness, that's gas money. Working 80 hours a week to do that, right? Or having no direction whatsoever at all and bumbling around MLM for a couple of years and making 12 grand. So just think about the contrast, the wild contrast between those three worlds, right? We had franchising, we had traditional MLM, and we have top tier direct sales. All three work. All three are fine. Do whatever you like. Okay, that's fine. I'm not here to evaluate what you should or shouldn't do. I can just tell you for this guy, well, look at the results. I mean, what else do we have to say? Maybe if I was even more motivated or had a bigger aptitude for marketing or something, maybe I could have made it in that MLM deal. Maybe I could have gotten the leverage that I never got in that franchise deal. Maybe if I had more of a business mind. Maybe if I went to Wharton Business School, like rich children do, which I'd like to send my child to that if she's interested. She's only 6 right now, but you get the point, right? Maybe I was lacking the education. I don't think I was lacking the motivation. I certainly was. I didn't know what I didn't know. And what are you going to do when you're completely ignorant that you're ignorant, right? So how fortunate are we to have found a group of people here in, right now it's 2017. If you're 1 hour in the business, you're so fortunate. You don't even know yet. That's how fortunate you are. Okay, but how fortunate are we to be in a community of people that actually know stuff and are willing to teach and have provided a product line of significance, of super high subjective value, and a compensation plan that pays out 60% and has leverage across 3 generations, and handles all the problems that you didn't sign up here to have those problems. You don't have to make the product. You don't have to handle all the bookkeeping. You don't have to handle the lawyers, the design, graphics people, the stage. My goodness, wait till you guys see what's happening in Maui at the Ascend event, and in Orlando at the Marketing Mastery event. None of those are your post. Hooray, hooray. Your post as marketer, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to do it unapologetically with your fangs exposed, take no prisoners, make as much money as you can as fast as you can, and damn it, make an example of yourself. Yes, make a spectacle of yourself. The world has no use for more failures. The world needs leaders. And that is you. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is inspire others. And then offer them whatever you want because they're buying you. And I would venture that Digital Altitude is a pretty great front-end offer. And it's all in a box for you, ready to go. If you want to go write a book, go write a book. Offer them that too. Great. Great. Do it. Just do it. Because once you know marketing, once you know sales, you are now in the highest paid profession in the world, and you don't even have to look good in a bikini. It is just magical, my friends. I'm telling you, I still pinch myself sometimes. I'm like, my goodness, look at me. If I can do it. So back to my original point. Am I special? Maybe simply because I've chosen to have some integrity to my own vision. And I've chosen to rekindle that vision and not be beaten down by life and its circumstances and my past failures. I have not succumbed to past failures. And those times when I have succumbed, I've gotten back up eventually. Right? I'm not here to tell you that this is walk in the park, No, no, you don't get to be a black belt by never taking a punch. Come on, come on. All right. So I just want you to chew on that and see how that see if this is speaking to you. I mean, you can reject this whole conversation. You can say, you know what? No, John, you're special. And, I mean, you've got so many advantages. I mean, you've been studying personal development and psychology and various philosophies for 30 years. And you've already got like a list of people. And yeah, you can invalidate and disqualify yourself. You can do that. Yeah, you can do that. You can reject everything I just said. Or you could neglect it, right? You can just say, yeah, it's really great, man. That is awesome. Wow, I'm so damn empowered. John Lavinia, man, he's speaking the truth. Yeah. All right, what's on TV tonight? What? Oh, damn it, oh, man, I got problems. I got circumstances, right? And just let it go in one ear and out the other. Just neglect it. I suppose you could also ignore it. Maybe right now, as I'm speaking, you're also watching kitten videos on YouTube. Hey, priorities, man. Priorities. Those kittens are cute. Or you could accept it and put it to use. Again, education is for use. I know that's a novel idea in current scholastic circles, but I'm here to tell you this is for use, and it's for you. You are the missing ingredient. That's all. And the fact that you're here listening to this, well, you're probably not missing it all, are you? You're probably here. So with that, my mouth runneth over. I shall stop running it. And I'm looking at the chat roll, and I am seeing a ton of comments. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys and gals, for your feedback on this. This is just with great love and respect that I offer these ideas to you each week, and usually with a co-host, and we are going to have one next week. By the way, before I open it up for Q&A, next week we're having our final Black Diamond call before the Ascend event in Maui, and we will be taking Ascend Week off. Ascend Week is a holiday week for us, so we will be taking that week off. Next week we're going to be having our grand finale for this run with Jason Stone. Jason Stone is scheduled to be on the Black Diamond call next week, so mark that on your calendar. Right now, what I'm going to do is turn on the Q&A mode. Stand by. Here we go. Q&A session has started. Q&A session has started. So what that means for you and me is that we now have the opportunity to raise our hand by clicking the mute button on our app or *6 on our telephone device, on our telephony device. Yes, we'll click the *6 button to raise our hand, or click the mute button, the little microphone thing on the app, and our first caller is just vanished. Our first caller just vanished. Christine, where'd you go? Okay, so our first caller just vanished. If you guys want to ask any questions or engage me with this conversation that we're in here tonight, I'm more than welcome to spend some time in Q&A mode here. So here we go. Our first caller is Isaac. Hold on. Here we go. And is it Isaac?
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're on the air, sir. Is your name Isaac?
It's Isaac.
Isaac. Oh, yeah. Isaac. Okay, I saw the A. Thank you. Isaac, you're live on the air. How are you, brother?
Good. How are you?
I am, man, listen to me. I'm on fire.
Well, I'm currently 17, and I turn 18 in about 4 or 5 months from now. I was just wondering, how much information, like, how long did that take for you to attain in this, like, area and field? Like, how long would you say this took as compared to, like, a college education or going through high school? Because I'm really trying to focus on and doing a lot of online sales in my future, doing a lot of social media type stuff, and to hopefully planning a career where I'm just having all this free time, being able to travel the world and not having to worry about being trapped in a classroom. I mean, I totally appreciate like what the school system I'm in is doing, but just overall, I think in America it's very jaded. It's very so like cookie cutter, do this, go to college, and then after that we don't know what to do. Like they're not teaching us how to be confident. They're not teaching us like life skills or anything like that. We have to learn from that from our parents. And chances are, if our parents aren't with us or don't have that type of support to give us, then it's not going to work out. So in terms of this, like, does it kind of make sense?
Oh, totally. Yeah, so how long does it take to get to a level of consistent and sustainable profitability, success, something?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it doesn't take long. I can tell you that what usually takes the longest, and I think you'll appreciate this, what usually takes the longest is the decision. See, most people live in a state of chronic indecision,
Absolutely.
also known as procrastination, right? So that adds years, decades, adds as much time as you want to add. Lifetimes, I don't know, right? So yeah, make a decision, and it sounds like you have. So great news, you're almost home. So now all you got to do is learn a few skills, okay, and stay in this conversation, Isaac. Stay in this
Okay.
conversation. No one has arrived. I have not arrived. I've been in this conversation for decades, and I have not arrived, okay? So just be careful of thinking you've arrived or that you don't need to learn anymore, okay? Especially
Yeah.
when we're talking about, marketing. My goodness, online, right? There's lots that you could learn. So my suggestion is find something that you have a natural tendency to do. Like, for example, you seem to be well-spoken, maybe podcasting, maybe, hosting webinars or maybe video. Okay, maybe you're a
Yeah.
writer.
Yeah.
Find some way to add value to the marketplace. Like the late Jim Rohn said, I don't know if you've ever heard of that guy. He died a few years back. He said, if you want to increase your income, increase your value to the marketplace. Well,
Yeah.
great. So what can you do that's valuable that you can now put into the marketplace? Do some marketing, impinge on some people's space with that. What's your message? What's your brand, right? So anything you can do to learn and easily execute, okay? And I'm not going to say it's going to be effortless, but, some people they get the idea that they've got to do like 15 different things. No, right? Some people are scared of a video camera. Well, then don't do a YouTube channel. Okay, fine. Go do Facebook or something. Or go buy advertising. Learn how to get good at placing banner ads or something. So learn one or two things and then go deep in those areas, and you'll find that you just start to get traction. It does not have to take a long time. What takes longer is usually making a decision. That's usually what takes longer. So once you've decided, man, like once I knew, here's the thing, Isaac, once I knew that I was on the right path, I'm never letting go, right? All I needed was a taste, just a little taste. I just needed to hear the truth, and it rang
Yeah.
true. It rang true for me, and then I experienced the truth, and then it was, I'm done. I'm a lifer, you know?
That's really good.
So, yeah, I hope that helps or at least inspires you, you know?
Definitely. Definitely. I'm doing a lot of work in the background for a lot of months now, and just like going through high school, I've been really trying to trying to understand like who I am as a person, like because they emphasize so much on the grades and the sports, and I can do that too, but I just wanted something a little bit more than that. I want to get my life started as soon as possible, as soon as I'm out the house, and just being able to have financial freedom. I feel like that's something that is not really quote unquote seen as attainable now in this society, and I want to be able to just be set apart and break out of that.
Hmm. Well, it's yes, I hear what you're saying, and I would say it actually goes even further than that. There's a narrative which tragically has permeated academia, uh, that for you to be more successful, it means that somebody else is going to be less successful. Um, Egalitarianism, what I would call Marxism, really, socialism, that capitalism bad, the group is more important than the individual. It is really interesting what I've witnessed in terms of academia. And so why bring up anything like life skills or you becoming successful? That does not fit the narrative, or that you could somehow reach higher. I mean, the whole idea, and again, I don't mean to get on a rant with this.
That's okay. That's okay.
The whole idea of that everybody's equal. Yes, equal in terms of opportunity, but let's say I'm an A student and you're a D student. Should we just both be C students then? Like like kind of even it out, like the curve and everything. Or can I be an A plus student? Can I go like 3 grades ahead because I'm just in it and that's it, right? I'm into it, and I'm going to knock this stuff out. I'm going to get on with some goals, right? Oh, I like that way. I like going at your own pace and excelling to whatever degree you choose to reach above mediocrity, and that is not the narrative, man. It's the sheeple. It's the sheeple, man. And the purpose of the herd is to keep you in the herd. I mean, think about who you're learning from, right? People are making 30, 40 grand a year. So what are they going to teach you about being a successful entrepreneur. And that's why rich people send their kids to Wharton Business School and things like that, right? So it's a whole different world, you know. I will tell you that it's an extremely destructive mindset to be in the what's called the competitive mindset. So if there's only so much pie, you see, Isaac, there's only so much pie, and if you get
Yeah.
more, well, I get less, right? Well, screw you, right? Everybody gets the same amount of pie. Everybody gets the same amount of pie. In fact, we need the government to come inspect the pie cutter because he might have gotten some pie and okay, oh my goodness. So here in the world of free enterprise, we say, who wants pie? Step right up. Here's the ingredients. We'll teach you how to make the pie. Make as much pie as you want. We don't give a damn. Have all the pie. You throw it up. You can't eat any more pie. That's fine. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. I'm making my own pie.
Yeah.
There you go. I hope that helps.
Good. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're awesome, man. You're not even of the age of majority yet. My goodness, you're 17. Well, I guess your parents signed you up, so bravo to them.
Nah, I signed myself up. You know?
Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. I'm not in the legal compliance department here. I didn't hear that. Okay, thank you. All right, we're gonna go to our next caller. It's Richard. Hey, Richard, how are you? You're live on the air.
Hey, John, how you doing?
I am good, man. I am good. What's new with you?
Well, you know, I've listened to your thing here, and that's just totally awesome. I like to say this. Last night, you know, I'm on step 10. I'm going on 10, and I had a dream last night, and it was funny because I looked at this, and I'm 63 years old.
It wasn't. Hold on. It wasn't John Lavinia in a bikini, I hope.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, thank you.
You know what? This digital altitude, it's almost like a video game. If you play the game and go through the steps and level up every time, and even if you don't make that level, go back and do that level again, it was like I had this vision of doing that and completing the steps. And I'd like to ask you this question. In your road or your climb to the top, how many times did you stumble down the road, back down, go back down a step?
Oh, I didn't count them, so I couldn't give you a quantity, Richard, but I could tell you that that I sure learned a
Could
lot.
have been easy.
Yeah, I learned a lot, and the thing that kept me going was the vision. So that's probably why I wasn't counting the losses, only the wins. And there's a story from the Bible about David and Goliath. Have you heard about this incident that happened?
Yeah.
Yes. Right. So
Yes, I have.
there's this big guy Goliath apparently, and he's like this fearsome dude, and like nobody can defeat him. And then there's like the army and the king and all this, and here's this kid David, and
Yeah.
the part of the story that a lot of people apparently don't remember or were never told was that there was a reward for killing Goliath. And the reward had something to do with you get to marry the princess and you get to live tax-free for the rest of your life. All you got to do is take down this enemy of the state here, this Goliath guy. And all the other soldiers were trembling. Oh, Goliath, oh, he's invincible. Oh, my goodness. Problems. And David was like, hey, tell me again about the reward. Tax-free life? Marry the princess? Hey, tell me about that tax-free life again. Oh, what about that princess? Great. He took unconventional means and got the job done and stole the show. I mean, that's
right. Became king.
Right.
Yeah.
Sign me up for the princess and the tax-free life. So that's all.
Yeah.
We all have the same opportunity. So going back to what Isaac and I were talking about. Yeah, equal opportunity. Fantastic. Equal results? No. And
I'm glad I heard about this.
Yeah.
Because, after 63 years of working, being in the military and all that brought me nowhere, I'm here now, climbing to the top of that mountain with you. I'm to see you at the top.
Very good, my friend. You coming to Orlando?
No, I'm not going to be able to make it there. I've got to drive Uber and get these steps done.
Okay. Well, Orlando is months away. So the correct answer, my friend, is yes. I am working on the means to do that right now. I'm driving Uber and I'm getting these steps done.
There you go.
Yes. So
I will.
Just what are you expecting? I mean, this is like months away. So,
Yeah.
and I'm not picking on you now. I'm just giving you my
Yeah.
reality about this. This does not take long. I mean, my goodness, you've got an opportunity here. We've already got people making a lot of money, more money than it takes to get $100, event ticket. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
All
thank
right.
you, man. Thank you for coming out here. I do
All
want
right.
to shake your hand in person at the first event that you show up at, which I'm guessing will be Orlando. So,
Thank you very much, John.
all right, my
You have a
friend.
great one.
You too. Great seeing you. All right, we're
Okay.
going to wrap up Q&A with that.
Q&A session is over.
And I want to thank Isaac and Richard for jumping out here and having a little time with us this evening. And it's a pleasure for me to be here with everybody here on the Black Diamond Call. We are going to get together here again next week. And of course, join me tomorrow on the wake up call at what time does that happen? 10 a.m. Eastern U.S. time. And of course, if you're listening to this on replay with our podcast or what have you, make sure you share these messages with your team, whoever. I mean, if you think this is an inspiring message, you want to share it with somebody who's not even in digital altitude, fine. The podcast is public. This is for everybody. So thank you again. I'll see you guys next time. In the meantime, make it a great day. You absolutely deserve it. And bye for now.